Hi, and welcome for this week's practice. This week's practice is focused around high lunge and crescent pose, and the entire sequence is built with those poses and variations of them in between. So we'll get some practice at learning the form and feeling the form because we're going to be doing that a lot today in this sequence. So get ready for some tired legs. Let's join me on the back of the mat, and we'll just be sitting on the shins and just start to get grounded here. You can close the eyes, allow the hands to rest gently on the top of the thighs. If it's a little uncomfortable to sit on top of your feet like this, you can double up the mat for a little extra cushion. Start to inhale and exhale through the nose deeply. Filling up the rib cage and feeling it expand from the front and the back, and from side to side. And as you exhale, allow yourself to release the air from the tops of the lungs until it empties all the way down to the bottom. Stay relaxed in the upper body. Feel the shoulders melt away from the ears. One more inhale and exhale. And after this exhale, start to blink the eyes open. And we'll start with a little warm up here at the back of our mat. Lift the hips, inhale the hands up to the sky. Maybe the hands come to touch. You come into a slight back bend. And on an exhale, we twist to the right, lower the hips back down towards the feet. Inhale, come back up into that back bend, hand comes together, gaze goes up to the sky. And exhale, we'll take the twist over to the left. Inhale up, reach up, lifting through the chest, opening the heart. Exhale, twisting, maybe gazing behind you. Inhale up, lifting up, feel that energy pulling yourself upward. And then exhale, twisting and turning towards the left. One more time each side. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, twisting to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, twisting over to the left. On the next inhale, we'll lift the hands up to the sky. One more back bend. Inhale here. And on an exhale, straighten the torso so that our shoulders are stacked over the hips and hips are over the knees. We'll take a little side bend. If you have a block or two handy, you might want one over at the right side, or else just take your right hand to your right hip. We'll start to side bend over towards the right, maybe reaching those fingertips for your mat. Opening up those left side ribs, spiraling the chest open towards the sky, reaching energetically with those left fingertips. On an inhale, come up, both hands reach up, and then exhale, we'll take that over to the left, slowly coming over towards the left side, maybe reaching for the mat. Again, staying open in that right shoulder, keeping it along the right side of the ear. Inhale, come up. One more on each side. Bending towards the right. Inhale, coming up, and exhale over towards the left. Very good. Inhale back up to center. Exhale, bring the hands down through heart center. We'll start to warm up the quads a little bit. Cross your arms in front of your chest like this. If your toes were tucked, untuck them. And we'll just lean back as far as we can. Really feel the quads turn on here. And then lift yourself back up to upright so your hips are stacked over the knees. We'll do that 10 times. Leaning back for 1. And coming up. Back for 2. And up. Engage the core. This will help you bring yourself back upright. That's 3. And 4. 5. Halfway's there. You should really be pushing into the mat with your shins. Feeling those quads turn on. The whole lower body is working. 3 left. That's 8. 9. And 10. Can we hold it? Can you hold it back for 1, 2, 3. Should be shaking. 4, 5, and come all the way up. Very good. From here, we'll go ahead and bring our hands down in front of us, tuck the toes, and push right back into our first downward dog. So find your stance in downward dog, feet about hip width apart. Pushing into the arms, keeping the arms nice and straight and the shoulders wide and across the back. Heels are pushing down towards that mat, lengthening through the spine. Take an inhale here and exhale it out through the mouth. On the next inhale, we'll lift that right leg up into the sky for our 3-legged dog. The hips are square. From here, bend that right leg, take the right heel towards the left hip, and we'll open up the right knee, lifting, engaging with that right thigh, but keeping the shoulders square to the top of the mat. From here, we'll take some hip circles with the right knee and start to just circle in the clockwise direction. We'll take about 3 or 4 here, and then go ahead and reverse the direction. When you're done with those circles, extend that leg back up into your 3-legged dog, and then come forward, start to round the back, draw the right foot in between the hands for our runner's lunge. Runner's lunge, just on the fingertips, and our chest is lifted, gaze forward. From runner's lunge, we'll begin to enter our high lunge. Just stay upright in that chest. From here, just take the hands to the right thigh, not directly on the knee, but up on the thigh, and push yourself to upright. So now you're in your crescent lunge, your high lunge on the right side. The back leg is straight and the heel is still lifted. Keeping that back leg straight by engaging the back right thigh. Inhale the arms up and to the sky. Arms are alongside the ears now. Maybe just slightly behind the ears with the thumbs pointing to the back side of the mat. This is your true high lunge. I keep wanting to get them mixed up myself here today. Now inhale, open up the chest, and we take a very slight, you can start very small to begin the practice, back bend. All right, so the bend is coming from the middle portion of our back. We're not just dropping the neck back. The back leg is staying straight here. Inhale once more and exhale, come back to high lunge. From high lunge, we'll lower the hands down towards the mat. From high lunge, we'll take some knee dips. So bend that back left knee and straighten. Bend and straighten. 5 more. Keep that right knee bent and over the right ankle. On the last one, come up to high lunge. From here, exhale, lower back down into your runner's lunge. Your right leg is probably getting pretty tired. Stay on the left hand and open up the right arm as you come into your easy twist. Take a nice deep breath here. From your easy twist, maybe step that right foot back about 2 inches, and we'll come onto the knife edge of the right and the left foot as we sink the hips down towards the mat for our Revolved Skandasana. On the next inhale, lift the hips, come back up into your runner's lunge. Start to walk the hands over towards the left side of your mat and come into a full Skandasana on the right side. You can stay up on your right toes for this, or up on your hands, or lower all the way down. From Skandasana, push into that right foot, come up, lift the torso halfway up as you point the toes towards the left side of the mat. Take an inhale, and then exhale, start to fold forward. Releasing the head down, maybe taking the hands towards the mat. Start to regain your breath here. On the next inhale, lift up and walk yourself over towards the back side of the mat into runner's lunge on the left side. Place the right palm down, inhale the left hand up into the sky for your easy twist. From easy twist, take the left foot back about 3 or 4 inches, start to spin onto the knife edge of both of your feet for our Revolved Skandasana on this side. Inhale, push up with the hips. Come back into your runner's lunge. Place the hands onto the mat, step the foot back into plank, and take a vinyasa. Bending the elbows into chaturanga. Inhale up to your upward facing dog. Exhale to your downward dog. From downward dog, we'll take the same thing on the left side. Inhale the left leg up to the sky for your 3-legged dog. From here, bend the left foot or the left knee and bring the left foot towards the right hip. Really trying to drive that hip towards, or the foot towards the right hip as we open up the left knee, lifting as high as we can. And from here, we'll start to take some hip circles with that left knee, about 3 or 4 clockwise, and then go ahead and take the other direction. When you're done, come into a 3-legged dog, and then inhale that left foot through, bring it to the top of the mat in between the hands for your runner's lunge on the left side. From runner's lunge, we'll prepare for our high lunge pose. Lift the torso, bring the hands to the top of the left thigh. Start to push into the left thigh with the hands as you lift the torso directly over the hips. Back leg is straight, shoulders are over the hips. And hold here. If you'd like, you can inhale the arms up and take them alongside the ears. If this does make your arms a little tired, you can always take the hands to heart center. On the next inhale, we'll take crescent lunge, a small back bend, maybe bring the gaze up towards the sky, opening the chest, keeping the energy extending through the fingertips and through that back heel. Return back to your high lunge, and we'll take some of those knee dips, 8 on this side. Lower for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Very good. As we come back into our high lunge, we'll exhale and lower down into our runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, the right hand comes to the mat. We'll inhale the left hand up into the sky for our easy twist. From easy twist, bring that left hand down, maybe scoot the left foot back about 3 or 4 inches. Rainbow the arm over into the left side for our Revolved Skandasana. Avoid slumping in the shoulder. Feel the stretch in the outside of that right leg. From here, inhale the arm up. And we'll start to walk the hands towards the left side of our mat once more and come into Skandasana on the left side. You can always stay higher in Skandasana too if you wanted to stay up here. It's totally fine. Wherever you're at, we'll start to walk the hands through center. Pause here, keeping the torso at a half lift. Inhale and exhale. We'll fold forward again into our wide-legged forward fold. On the next inhale, lift the torso, and we'll start to walk over to the right for our right side Skandasana. Lowering the hips, maybe sitting on a block. Hands to prayer wherever you're at. From the Skandasana, we'll start to walk the hands over to runner's lunge, back at the top of our mat. From here, the left palm stays firm on the mat, and we'll open the chest, lift the right fingertips to the sky for our easy twist. Start to bring that right foot back about 2 or 3 inches to give your hips some room to sink down. Revolved Skandasana. Inhale, lift the hips, come back to your runner's lunge, step back to your plank, bend the elbows, shift the chest forward as you lower down, and then lift up to your upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Take an inhale here, and an exhale. If you'd like to take a quick child's pose, this could be where you take it. We'll pause for a moment in downward dog and just regain our breath. Just a quick break there. Come back into your downward dog. Inhale the right leg up into the sky. Bend the knee. Open up your 3-legged dog. So your nice open 3-legged dip. 3-legged dog. And then extend that leg back up into the sky. Round the spine. Draw the foot through. Inhale all the way up into your high lunge. Hold here. Torso is straight. Shoulders are down and away from the ears, but you're still active through the fingertips. So we're not crunching up towards the ears like this. The shoulders are down. We'll start to take a couple of twists in our high lunge. Inhale, and then exhale. Turn the torso over towards the right as you bring both your hands down along the right side. Inhale back up to center. And then exhale, we'll take that over towards the left, maybe gazing down towards the back of your left leg. Inhale up to center. And exhale to the right. And this is kind of a balance challenge too as we shift our gaze from back and forth. It can be a little bit more difficult to hold that balance. One more on each side. If your leg's starting to get tired, you can come a little bit higher up in your crescent or in your high lunge pose. Returning back to center. We'll go ahead and take a hold of that left wrist with the right hand, side bend over towards the right. Just like we did when we were on our shins, but this time we have a balance with it. And you're really feeling it into that left hip flexor. Come back through to center, find your balance, and then we'll take that over to the other side. Coming back to center, release the arms, taking a revolved high lunge, turning the torso, extending the right hand back behind you, left hand goes up in front, and then flipping the left palm, we'll lift that up into the sky for our revolve, reversed high lunge pose. Returning back to center, back through high lunge. From high lunge, start to lean the torso forward, push into that right foot, draw the left foot up beside it, about hip width distance apart, and lower into your chair pose. Very good. This probably feels really a lot better than it does being stuck in the high lunge pose for so long. From here, let's step onto the left foot, cross the right foot over the top of the left knee, and draw the hands in heart center as we sink the hips back for a figure 4 position. Inhale the breath all the way down into that right hip flexor. Feel the lungs fill up and expand. And release as you let go of the breath. Now, here's where you might want a pair of blocks or use your hands to support you. We're going to take a pistol squat. So take a hold of that right big toe with your right piece fingers. Start to bend into the left leg as you squat down. And hold it here, and then slowly drop your bum down onto your mat. Just as you need. I'm just going to come back a little bit further onto the mat here. Inhale the arms up into the sky, and then on an exhale, we'll take a twist over towards the left. Maybe grab a hold of that left knee, or if you want, you could take the elbow to the inside of the left knee for a deeper twist. Inhale, and then exhale, maybe twist a little bit deeper. Make sure the twist is coming from the center of the back and that you're not just cranking the neck to look a little bit further behind you. Release the twist and unwind. From here, take the left sole of the foot to the inside of the right leg. Inhale the arms up to the sky, and exhale, fold from the hips as you fold forward alongside the right leg. Torso should be just to the inside of the right leg. Trying to keep the spine as long as possible. On the next inhale, come up. Take the left hand behind the left hip and push into that left shin as we come into a supported wild thing or a baby wild thing, lifting the hips all the way up to the sky, dropping the head, really pushing into that right foot, engaging the whole front line of the body. And on an exhale, sink the hips back down. Maybe cross the feet underneath you, and we'll come back through all fours as we push into our down dog. From down dog, take a deep breath in and exhale it out. On the next inhale, lift the left leg up into the sky. Start to bend the knee. Open deeply, really engage that thigh, engage the glutes to lift higher. And from here, straighten the leg back out, round the back, draw the foot in between the hands for a low lunge. Starting with our low lunge first. engaging the abdomen, engaging the core as you lift the upper body and come all the way up into your high lunge. Back leg is straight. From high lunge, we'll take a small back bend for crescent, opening the chest, feeling the collarbone widen. Exhale, return to your high lunge. From high lunge, we'll take those twists again. Inhale, exhale, take both of the hands down and towards the left. Inhale them up to center. Exhale, down and towards the right. Inhale back up towards center. And then exhale to the left. Inhale up, keeping your balance, down to the right. Inhale up to center. From here, we'll pause. We'll take those side bends, take a hold of the left wrist with the right hand, and start to lean over towards the right. Inhale up. Well, about lost my balance there. I'm going to shorten my stance just a little bit so I feel a little more comfortable. Start to side bend over to the left, taking a hold of the right wrist. Legs are probably getting really tired by now. Inhale up, and we'll take a revolved high lunge. The left hand goes behind you, the right hand extends out in front. Flip that right palm up. Start to lift it towards the sky for our revolved reversed high lunge. Inhale. Exhale. Come back through our reverse high or our revolved high lunge. And then come back to high lunge, hands alongside the ears. From here, press into that left foot, step up and into your chair pose. Arms alongside the ears as you sink into the hips. One inhale and exhale here. Step into the right foot, draw the left foot across the right knee, and sink into the hips for your figure four pose on the right side. Starting to get a little relief into that left hip flexor. Sinking as far as you can on this side. Prepare, we have another pistol squat coming. We'll lift up slightly, take a hold of the left big toe and the left peace fingers. Start to bend generously into the right knee. Use support if you need it. And start to lower down until you come all the way down to your mat. Adjust, shift yourself back if you need to. From here, we'll take a twist. Inhale the left arm up into the sky and exhale. Take hold of that right knee. Start to turn towards your right, gazing back towards the right fingertips. Inhale, maybe come out of the twist slightly, and on an exhale, maybe deepen a little bit further. Very good. On an inhale, release. Take the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left leg. Inhale the arms up to the sky. Exhale, folding forward from the torso. For your Janu Shirshasana on the left side. Torso to the inside of the left leg. Keeping the spine straight. Feel the lengthening through the back hamstring and the back of the calf. On the next inhale, come up. We'll put the right hand behind the right hip. Inhale the left hand up to the sky as you push the hips up. Back bend into your baby wild thing. On an exhale, lower the hips back down towards the mat. Cross the legs, bring them underneath you. Come through tabletop, and we'll push back into a downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, we'll inhale that right foot up into the sky for a three-legged down dog. Draw the right foot through between the hands. And from here, we'll come straight up to our high lunge. Very good. From high lunge, let's bend that back knee. We'll take another twist. looking over towards the right, extending the right hand behind you, and this time taking the left hand to the outside of the right thigh, using that leverage for a little more twist. Holding here. Inhale, come back up to a bent knee, high lunge. And from here, straighten that knee, lean the torso forward at about a 45-degree angle. Arms are active alongside the ears, really staying strong through the core as you draw the navel up and in towards the spine. Lower the hands towards the mat. Back in a runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, we'll take the knee all the way back down to the mat. And we're going to go from on the mat to off the mat in our runner's lunge and start to stretch out the inside of the left hip. So starting on the mat, exhale, extend and straighten that back leg. And then bend the left knee, allow it to touch, extend and lengthen as you push out through the back heel. We'll do that 8 more times. Your hips should be nice and warm by the time we are done with this today. Very good on the last one. You can keep the back knee lifted. Start to walk the right foot to the outside of the right hand, and you're in your upright lizard lunge. If it feels good, you can lower the back knee to the mat. Maybe start to lower the forearms towards the mat for a full lizard. And from here, if you want to roll onto the knife edge of the right foot, maybe push into the inside of the right thigh, open up a little further into the right hip. Take a nice deep breath here. Start to bring the knee back in. Place both the hands down onto the mat. Tuck the back toes and lift the back knee. We'll step the right foot back into plank and we'll take a vinyasa. Bend the elbows, lower the chest. Inhale to our upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. And pause here. Take a nice inhale in. Exhale it out. On the next inhale, lift the left foot up into the sky and draw it through in between the hands. Come all the way up to your high lunge. From high lunge, we'll bend that right knee. Start to bend into the thoracic, the mid portion of the back as we take our crescent lunge. Exhale, come back to our high lunge. We'll take a twist again as the left arm goes back behind us and the right hand comes to the outside of the left thigh. Inhale it back to our high lunge. From our high lunge, we'll tilt the torso forward about 45 degrees and hold here. Really work the core, really feeling that into the right or the left quad. Your knees should be stacked directly over the ankle. Very good. Start to lower the hands towards the mat. You're in your runner's lunge. From runner's lunge, we'll set that back knee on the ground and we'll take those knee lifts once more. So start with the knee on the mat and we'll take 8 of those. Straighten the leg, bend it down. Straighten the leg, extend, push out through the heel and bend it down. Keep going at your own pace. Make sure you're pushing back really energetically through that back leg. You can feel the muscles in the hip really warm and start to activate. Very good on the last one. Keep the knee lifted. Start to walk the left foot out to the outside of the left hand. You're in your high lizard lunge. If you like, you can lower that back knee to the mat and untuck the toes. Maybe come to the forearms. And if you want, roll out to the outside knife edge of that left foot and push to the inside of the left thigh for a greater hip stretch. Whatever feels good for you today. This has been a pretty intense session on the legs. I'm not going to lie, I'm sweating. Really good. Okay, release. We'll come back to our runner's lunge or to our lizard, pushing the hands into the mat and then step that left foot back for plank. Start to lower down our last chaturanga. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, push back to our downward facing dog. From downward dog, go ahead and walk the feet in to the hands. And once you get up here, just go ahead and lower the hips all the way down. Use your hands or don't use your hands. Just make yourself down to the mat. And we'll come into our staff pose. From staff pose, inhale the hands up to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. And we'll start to slow down. You can round into the back here. We're starting to wind down in our practice, so we're not going to be as tough as keeping the spine super straight. We'll let the legs relax a little. Let the spine relax a lot. Ride the wave of our breath as we just sink down into the mat. On the next inhale, start to lift yourself up. Bring the soles of the feet together. For butterfly, you can interlace the fingers and bring them underneath the feet. Push the knees towards the mat. Take an inhale, straighten up the spine. Lower the shoulders down along the back. And on the exhale, start to fold from the hips. At first, you can keep the spine straight, but as you lower, feel free to round into the back and relax. Maybe the forehead can come into the feet. If you want to keep the bind around the feet, you can, or allow the hands to just relax in front of you. On your next inhale, come up. We'll extend the legs out long once more. This time, take the hands to the back of the thighs and allow yourself to roll down all the way onto the mat. Extend the legs out long. And we'll come into our Savasana. Allow the feet to fall out to the sides and the hands can open up towards the sky. Fingers are gently curling inward. We'll take just a couple minutes here. Take a moment to acknowledge the warmth that's been created in your body. Feel the heat in the back of the legs from the ankles to the calves. And those hamstrings and quads. Feel the tops of the thighs melt down into the mat. Feel the hips sink heavy. torso and the shoulders are grounding, melting into the earth. The skin around the eyes and in between the eyes, along the cheeks and the jaw, starts to relax. Feel the smoothness and a gentleness throughout the face. Please stay here for as long as you feel you need. You might need a few extra minutes for a little sore legs today. But if you are ready, go ahead and start to feel movement begin in the toes. Start to feel energy come into the fingertips as you start to just gently curl them in. Maybe make a fist in the hands. Slowly draw the feet in, and we'll roll onto our side. And very slowly and with care, push ourselves back and into the center of the mat. I hope you like that one as part of the Foundations of Yoga series. Again, it is really difficult to stay in one pose for such a length of time, but it's fascinating how many things we can do in one pose and all the variations we can take just from one type of yoga posture. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, hit that thumbs up button and hit subscribe. I'd like to bring more of these as the coming weeks go by. And as always, have an amazing day. Make it a good one. Bye.